This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
All right, and we are very happy to be here with you here at the Bricktown Brewery in Midwest City as we are gearing up for another exciting season of Mid-Del football on the Oklahoma Sports Network and another opportunity to have a coach's show and a player show, as you'll see here in a second, right here as well. So my name's Jordan Ray. Great to be with you. Of course, we're coming to you live from the Bricktown Brewery in Midwest City, our new home for the Mid-Del Coaches Show. You should make the Bricktown Brewery your home for watching many different sporting events. After all, they have pizzas for half price on Wednesdays. That's a deal that lasts year-round. And you should also download the app. If you're going to be a regular here, and we want you to be, then downloading the app, you can earn points on your purchases, and you'll get some really cool discounts. We also want to thank Tooney Buys Houses. Tooney Buys Houses, they buy and renovate homes. They lease and owner finance homes as well. And they'll be with us again for Midwest City and Carl Albert football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Okay, we're going to go ahead and, yes, not the best lighting. We'll fix that next week. But we're going to go ahead and start talking Midwest City Bomber football with one of their seniors, Kewan Landrum. Kewan, thank you for joining us. Okay, so let's talk about what the season or the preseason's been like. So let's start with this. You guys, of course, have had some really good regular seasons in 5A the last 2 years, but some playoff disappointments. Is that something that you guys were talking about in the off season and stuff like that? Was that a rallying cry, or what? If not, what has been?
That's kind of funny that you asked that. We played Piedmont 2 years ago, my sophomore year, and actually we had a great year that whole year. I think we went 8-2 in district, and so we were going to that game with a nice head of steam, district champs and things like that. And we had that snow game, kind of got shut out, and so now we're seniors now, and we got to get that chance to get that get back. So we kind of have been hanging our hat on, getting to play them again, because there's not a lot of times in life where you get that get back. So, yeah, definitely part of that motivation to get us going.
And you're right, you were part of was going to be a big senior class.
Yes, I think we have 37 seniors.
And that's true for right now?
It's true to now.
Wow, because you had it was supposed to be bigger. You had a few departures, but that hasn't, from what you told me earlier, that hasn't really deterred the team much, has it?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, we want our guys to go for where they feel welcome and comfortable and what's best for them. But, the show still goes on, and we have to work and show up every day, no matter who we lose, no matter who we get. So, yeah.
And so your linebacker, as you said, what specifically would you describe your position as?
I play Mike. What they say is I'm the quarterback of the defense. I do a lot of the play calling. My coach kind of relies on me to, make the big-time calls, make the checks, and do what I'm supposed to be doing. I think now that I've gotten older, I've been with Coach Cade. He's been my coach for the past 4 years, and he's kind of molded me into who I am today. And so it's been a great 4 years, and I'm ready, just to showcase everything that I've learned.
Okay, so let's talk about your fellow linebackers then. Is this a 3-4 defense?
Yeah, so we'll have some change-ups, but, yeah, 4-3.
4-3 defense. Okay, that's right. 3-4 is 4 linebackers.
Yes.
Okay, so 4-3. So I know you, Aiden Brown.
Yep.
Will be linebacker. Would Ross Jones be one?
He will be one, but we also have Hayden Parent, young guy stepping up.
Okay.
He's gotten to grow over the summer, and he's gotten bigger, stronger, faster. And so he's going to be a key component coming into this next season.
All right, and then I think there was some more inexperience on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Who do we got there right now?
we got the big twins, and again, I told you we have a class of 37. So
Yeah.
we've got some older guys, willing to, step up and make some changes, and they're willing to adapt and both not only play O-line but play D-line. So very excited about that. Don't want to disclose too much about what we got going on, but we do got some guys,
So that's interesting. The Jones twins, Domarin and DeMonte, and they're primary O-linemen.
Yeah.
But so they're going to play both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
Okay. Defensive backs, I know JoJo plays a lot on both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
And you got Felix Fuentes, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And who are some other names that you're liking on the backside there?
Again, we got another young guy stepping up. His name's Dustin Anderson. He's a baller, and I think he's going to shock a lot of people this year. And they're going to try to go at him probably, and that's just not what they want to do. Another good guy who's really had a great offseason, Brandon Dixon. He's supposed to be with us today.
We'll see if he comes.
He thinks might happen. But he's very athletic. Just won state with his basketball team not a couple months ago, and so he's bringing his mentality into it, and he really keeps us in line going forward. How to get into that postseason success, because that's been a problem for us the past 2-3 years.
Well, he's playing some baseball too.
Yeah, he does play baseball. He's an athlete.
That's right. He sure is. Okay, so any chance we'll see you on offense?
Hey, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I do a lot. Kickoff return, punt return, defense, and so I probably play 90 snaps every Friday. So, they try to keep me fresh. But I'll never turn down an opportunity.
If you were to play, would it be like as an H-back?
Fullback. I might tote the ball. It just depends on how my coaches are feeling, what they want me to do. I'm more of a not too picky of a guy. I just love the sport, and wherever my team needs me is where I'm going to go.
Okay, so when I assume you're practicing against some of the ones on offense.
Oh, I practice on both sides. If I have to go to scout, because a problem, the past years is haven't really liked how competitive our practices are.
Right.
So I like to give a look on both sides. I go up against the ones, I go up against the twos. We want to have depth, and so we need to be able to give work to both sides. And so, that's what's been going on. And that's kind of where it's been going on all year for everybody. Ones and twos, incorporating each other. So, yeah.
All right, we'll talk some more about this, but right now we're going to take a quick break, and we'll have Coach Hall on as we continue to preview Midwest City Bomber football right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Yes, sir.
Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back.
Chicken strips. Chicken strips. Chicken strips.
Ranch.
Ranch!
Buffalo Ranch. Monterey Jack cheese.
The Whataburger Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich. A beautiful masterpiece.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes.
Call Rob and Will.
All right, are we on? Okay, we're back here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just getting in some players and Coach Darrell Hall with us. All right, so enjoyed talking with Kewan Lander. We'll talk with him some more. Also with us right now is Brandon Dixon. Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you and then bring in Coach Hall. Okay, you guys should be able to hear me now. Brandon, it seems like you're always playing a sport, huh?
Yes, sir.
What would you say that playing other sports, basketball and baseball, does that help you with football any, like as far as just looking forward to it because you take a break from it and then, does that make you look forward to coming back to it?
Yes, sir. It definitely does. I want to say it helps me mentally. Like, it's something new to each sport. And so I'm just always learning something new. And that's what I like about playing 3 sports.
Now, do you expect to take on a bigger role this year?
Yes, sir.
And how would you describe what you're going to do? I mean, I know Kewan said you'll play some cornerback.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to play any receiver?
Yes, sir, I will. I don't know. We will see this Friday how I will contribute to the offensive side. But on the defensive side, I will do as much as possible to just keep it inside to my linebackers and let them make the plays.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you like what you're seeing so far in practice?
Yes, sir, I do. We're very energetic. It's a good senior squad, so I feel like we just all came together.
Yeah.
Just leaving it out on the field.
For sure. All right, Coach Hall, so glad you could make it. You had a really important practice today, I know, right?
Yeah, every practice is important.
But this one was even more, not more so important, but a lot of stuff you guys had to nail down.
Yeah, we're trying to get some things in, see what we planned on going with the game plan, and making it mesh and go well. So there's a lot of checks and balances that are going on, so we know what to put in on the calls on play, defensive and offensive.
Now, you guys had a scrimmage last week that involved, was it Lawton High, Norman North, and is there one other team?
That was it.
Those two, okay.
Just those two.
Any overall thoughts? What good, bad, ugly, mostly good? What would you say about it?
Good. I mean, we ran around and flew to the ball. We whacked people like I like.
Hello.
We like hitting people hard. So those are the good things. I mean, kids never gave up. We didn't come on the outcome of the end of the scrimmages, but I felt very good about where we're at and where we're headed and how we played. If we could do it again, I think the outcome would be completely different than what it was. But we got a little growing going on. Big senior class, but we were filling holes with guys who hadn't played a lot. So things are going well.
Once again, we're on here at Bricktown Brewery, Midwest City. Really happy to be here. We appreciate Jason Fitz for letting us on. He's the manager. We'll talk more throughout the football season about the specials he has going on. And that includes half-price pizzas on Wednesdays. So that's a good deal there.
Say Wednesday?
Yeah, that's on Wednesdays, yeah. No, that's why we're here on Tuesday, because they want to
fill the place up.
Fill the place up on Wednesdays for sure. Coach, I mean, what was amazing talking to Kewan a moment ago is you had a few seniors leave the program, and yet you still have a huge senior class.
Yes.
That's got to be nice that you have a lot of guys that are going to bring a lot of maturity to the team.
That's one of the things we talk about. When these guys were freshmen, there were 55 of them. So we're running about 28, 30, around that number. But that's, it's kind of like in high school, the biggest class is always what? Your freshman class. Through attrition, people go. We expect a lot from these guys. And as we go about our business, what I put onto them is that they've been here before. These guys have, what they haven't done is won a playoff game, and we're going to fix that this year.
Yeah, we are.
But besides that, we've won a district. They've won a district title. They've been district runner-up. They've been in the mix, so they understand what it takes to get there. And so we put it back on their plate. They know and we know. We all felt the same, that we underachieved. We're better than what we finished. So it's our job this year to right the ship, do what we do, and play football.
And talk about you're going to need to pick a new quarterback here. And I know one name that was thrown out there is Roman Manella, but I know there's maybe been others in the mix. But what can you say about what that position looks like heading into the game Friday?
Very solid. The young man is continually growing, and Roman Manila will be our starting quarterback coming into the game Friday night against the Piedmont Wildcats. He's did nothing but grow. You know, he plays one sport, so he concentrates on what? One sport. You know, we'd like for him to be involved, but again, he gets nothing but better every day. He takes corrective criticism, and you have to. I mean, no one plays without being corrected. No one gets better without someone telling them the faults they made. And in the process, you know, he's did nothing but mature. He's had a lot of snaps. You know, he's won against teams like Bixby. We've won against East St. Louis in team camp, Edmond Memorial, Tulsa Union. So he's played in the fire along with the guys with him. So I think he'll be ready. I mean, there will be some nerves. We'll all have some nerves because it's the first game of the season. But as far as the position, I feel really solid. What's going on? He's willing to learn anything or attempt anything for us. So, you know, that position is solidified.
Brandon, you playing some wide receiver. What do you think of this young guy, Manella? What have you been impressed about?
I love him. He's an energetic quarterback. He is somebody I would love to have as my senior year quarterback. I would choose it.
And Coach, what some things that may stand out? I mean, is throwing? Is he more of a thrower than maybe Colston was last year?
Yes, I mean, Colston's a thrower too, but yeah, I think he's going to be when it's all said and done, a better percentage thrower. He's going to be able to throw every route. Like I said, he's going to be able to read defenses, and he'll be there every day.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the things that you, as an offensive, if he's going to be your quarterback, which is going to be, even though he's a sophomore, he's going to be a leader because that position requires a leader. So he's continually growing on that. So I feel very comfortable in the package we're going to put together to take out Piedmont.
And his dad coaches him a lot too, correct? And his dad is a middle school coach?
No, he's our freshman coach.
Okay.
His mom works at the middle school teacher.
Okay.
But his dad's also involved in a quarterback academy camps.
Yeah.
And so they travel and do a lot of that. So, you know, that's going to give him more time to throw the ball and be around it.
Yeah, for sure. Steve Manella, I've heard good things about him. I'm sure he'll be good having him on the sideline when he's playing there. Okay, so running back wise, you know, you had a stable of running backs the last couple years, and that's the reason that Jaheim Mahmoud didn't get more handoffs, although he started to at the end of last season.
Yes.
Was because you had so many other good running backs there, and now he's the main guy. And I think he got an offer from Navy.
Correct.
Yeah. So
from Navy on the table.
So that says a lot about him as a player and a person.
Yes.
But what are you seeing from him this year, or heading into this year?
Well, you know, the thing about when we went team camp, he was really explosive. I mean, he hit some holes that, you know, he went 65, he went 50 on some people. So, you know, when he's decisive, when he makes a decision to make up and go and go downhill, it's hard to beat. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to sling it around a little bit more than we have in the past, so that's going to open up more room inside for him to be able to run. And then we got other backs. We've got Gardner White. We've got Josiah Johnson can fill in, and then we've had Christian Gardner.
Was he a newer player?
Yeah, he's a new guy.
That's why he forgot his last name.
Yes, well, it's I'm not even going to get into it, but yes, we'll get him eligible once we get all our paperwork done. You know, we're going to take care of it step by step. They didn't come in until latter part of July.
Right.
He went to our middle school, so you know we're expecting big things out of him. So yeah, Jaheim will carry a majority of the weight, but he won't carry all the weight.
Okay, Kewan, practicing against Jaheim, what do you think? Has he been a beast?
Oh, that guy is really good.
Yeah.
I've been going to school with Jaheim, since third grade, and so I've always tried to get him out here, and so finally we got him out here once he got to high school, and you know he finally put himself on, you know, out there like, hey, I'm really that guy, and I was been telling him like, hey, dude, you're that guy. But back to your question, he makes everybody else better. You know, he's got it all. He's got the juke. He can jump. He can truck. Dude's got huge legs, tree trunks for legs. So
that's what you want.
It's a great way for us to practice for in-game situations. You know, we're gonna have times when we play bigger backs in our future, and so it's a great way to prep. And you know, like we talked about earlier, that post-season success, there's gonna be talented guys out there, and so for him to be on our team and to be at that caliber, it's a great addition.
Okay, in O-line, we're very familiar with the names Junior and the Jones twins.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, are you going to move them around?
Yes, there'll be some movement going on. I mean, right now we've got about 7-8 guys that can play.
Good.
So we're going to play someone, and most guys are going to play both sides of the ball some. So our job is to continue to build depth. But those guys will be the mainstay on the O-line. You have a couple sophomores. I guess they're juniors now.
Yeah.
AJ,
Dominique won?
Dominique Cochran and AJ.
Okay.
So, and then you got senior Samaj Malone and Dante Buckner that has shown some fight in there. So, like I said, you take those group of guys and Josh Sear. So there's a group of guys that we're going to mix and match and and be able to spell guys and get them on so they can play more snaps.
And who's your center?
Well, junior most of the time it could be Dom, could be Sear.
Okay.
We're very adaptable.
Could be him maybe.
Very adaptable.
Okay. I would love to see that. Just, but you know how much pressure there is because now that it seems like all these high school teams are in the gun, you got to get that right, that snap right. Okay, so then, Kewan gave me a good preview of the defense and talked about some different guys there, but just general thoughts on that side.
Well, that's going to be our strength. Experience there. We replaced a lot on the D-line, but we got a lot coming. We got a lot coming back that played snaps, and we're really deep. We got a two-man rotation going on at every spot and every one of them brings something different. You got some guys that are smaller in stature that can fly around a little quicker. You got some that are brute strength. You got some that just get it done. And so then you go to linebackers. That's where we're a little thin, but that's going to be filled by some guys stepping up. You got dogs.
Dogs. Straight dogs at the back of position.
They play really good football. And then secondary-wise, like I said, he played a ton of snaps last year. You got JoJo back.
Dogs.
So the depth is there.
JoJo's back. I'm glad he didn't leave. Okay, now
we can't worry about the ones that left.
All right, I know, but I'm just saying I'm glad we have JoJo. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. So it was a bit of a struggle early in the season with punting, but you got that eventually figured out with David Arriaga. But of course, he's now at Oklahoma State. And of course, he was a reliable kicker when it came to kickoffs, and for field goals, he was pretty solid. So what do those positions look like now?
Well, they're not as good as they were last year, but they'll be fine. We've been working on it a lot longer. We didn't want the same thing to happen to us last year, so we didn't put the time in, but we wanted to cover every scenario possible. And there's about 3 guys fighting for the punting position, and 2 on the extra point. So it just depends on what's going on. We have a guy named Ruben Trujillo who's been around for a while. He's going to get first op on the field goal and kickoff. Dom's right there, breathing down his neck. Lincoln can kick forward. Lincoln King can kick, and so can Chance Davis. So as far as punting, so we've got a few selections to go there. It depends on field position and what we're trying to do.
Okay, and I guess that's one position I didn't ask about, but I know that's something that's a position you want to see more productivity out of is the wide receiver position from last year. And so now Lincoln King can focus on being a receiver.
Yes.
And then JoJo can, although he does a lot of things.
Yes.
And then we got Brandon there, but how do the wideouts look?
Oh, they stack up. You got those guys, and then you got Justice Grant that'll come in and play.
Okay.
You got a kid move in named Chance Davis. He'll help us there. You got Aiden Sutton, sophomore that's been showing up. So I feel like the receiving corps is deeper and better this year than it was last year.
Agreed.
Last year we had like a couple guys, and when 17 went down, let's get for real, when he went down, we had trouble.
Yeah.
We had trouble getting the ball.
Devin was good.
In the El Reno loss, Kenny hit him in the face a couple times for first downs, and they were never caught. So we're a lot better off than that.
Okay, so Alicia, my producer, if you would, show the schedule for Midwest City. Of course, you guys can't see, but you know it. I'm sure you have it memorized.
Oh, yeah.
So, Coach, what was interesting is how everything got all mixed up in April. And so no Del City in the district. That was something that we were going to look forward to. You still play Del City, of course.
Yes.
And then Bishop McGuinness went back from 6A2, which they were supposed to be in, and now they're in your district. So you get both the teams you lost to in the playoffs the last 2 years. And so I'm going to ask you two about that for sure. But the other thing about the schedule that people might be interested to see when they look at it is 2 bye weeks, because you had Guyman move to your district, and they're not a football, or they don't play the football district schedule.
Yes.
So anyway,
non-competitive schedule.
Yeah, there's the overview. What did you think of the switch?
I didn't like it. Just going to be real about it. I didn't like it. I mean, Guyman should have stayed where they were. I mean, we swapped with Guyman, and and so we had to go scramble. And after the deal, Booker T calls me, and they drop us. And so, if I hadn't picked up Del City, we'd have had an 8-game schedule beforehand, where we had 10. And now I'm going into I'm preparing my team for a season, and then I've got week 9 that I have an open date. Well, nobody's going to play you week 9.
Yeah.
Nobody you want to play. So
and you want to play week 9 then?
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, you get better every week you play. And so I go game 1, 2 off, then I play 4 games, and then I'm off. I mean, and hopefully, that everybody fills the team and plays their schedule. You hear rumors about this team may not be there, this team may not be there. Well, that's not good for us. So, I don't think we were done a disservice as far as the district we were given.
Yeah.
I don't mind being in the district, but I'd rather have a full team and not have to go search for games. And when a team's not going to play, then why ship them to us?
Yeah, that's interesting. But what do you guys think about seeing like McGuinness or Newcastle? Will be interesting. That's kind of like the team switching out with Elgin.
Yes.
And they were a really good team last year, so you can kind of see them on the rise. What do you guys think, Kewan? Seeing Brandon McGuinness especially.
McGuinness is probably one of my top teams that I want to play again. It was we all know what happened last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been working hard all summer. We all have, so we all know what we need to do to get it done.
I believe it's got its pluses and minuses. It's our senior year. Of course, we want to play as much football as possible. Things happen. We got to be able to adapt. The positive, I love who we're playing. Again, like I said earlier, there's not a lot of times in life where you get to play the people that have beat you. And last year was a fluke. And we're going to come, and we're going to be real locked in this season. And I've been locked in since the loss.
Yeah.
And it's been pounding in my mind. And now I know that we play Piedmont again. And that was pounding in my mind the year before because, going that hard in the season and really throwing it all in there. And, we really had our mind set on that goal ball and falling short to a team that we should have beat. That leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And so the past 2 years, it's been stuff that can be fixed. And it's just the little stuff that really hurts the worst. And I really love the season, and we're going to start it off with a bang for sure.
Well, we're going to see you guys go to McGuinness, but also, and then Duncan, and then
that's week 10.
Week 10, yeah. And then the other road game in the district is was it Classen, SAS?
Yeah, in Southeast.
So
yes.
Southeast?
We'll go to Southeast, too.
Okay, so that's at Spiegel, right?
Southeast should be at Spiegel, and Classen SAS, I think, is going to be at Taft, but I'm not positive.
Do you have a lot of familiarity with those two stadiums?
Yeah, I played in Oklahoma City.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know if that makes it more appealing to you or not, going back there.
I'm
tradition.
Just glad to play a game. I mean, when I played there, they were both grass fields and they're both turf. They've redone both situations, and they're classics. I mean, Taft Stadium, you talk to somebody, has a big history in Oklahoma City, and it's a fun place to play. And then CB Spiegel is a very interesting place to play. I mean, with the WPA Stadium wall around it, it kind of gives you a kickback there. So it's looking forward to playing it every Friday night.
Well, I think 3 years ago we got to go to Northwest Classen, and that was that Taft? That was the last game.
Yes.
So we have been to Taft recently, at least.
That was last year. Wasn't that last year?
No, that was 3 years ago, our freshman year, because that was my first one of my first varsity games.
Yeah, not 3 full years. Yeah. Okay. Well, real quick, Piedmont. How did that come about to do home and home with them? They're also coached by Coach Hall, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lesser Coach Hall.
Yeah,
tell them again. Hello.
So how'd that home and home come about?
Well, they needed a game and they needed quality. They're going up 6-8-2.
Yep.
And that's where like I tell the people all the time. We call a lot of people about games, but they don't call us back. So we end up with a Carl Albert or Del City. Those are the kind of people that are going to play us.
We're not ducking smoke.
No, we don't duck smoke. We just play. And they were looking for, like I said, they were looking for stiffer competition, and we were looking for a tough game. And so it worked out to both our advantage.
And, of course, that was the playoff opponent 2 years ago. Okay, guys, what are your thoughts about Piedmont? That's like the first revenge game, if you want to look at it that way.
Thoughts about Piedmont? We've watched film on them, and we know their strengths and their weaknesses. And all I'm going to say is we're going to line up and play. And I think we're going to shock a couple people. We've seen some rankings a couple weeks ago, and, that also fires you up.
Yeah,
and you see some things, and you're like, okay. And we beat teams that are ranked above us multiple years in a row by a lot.
Yep.
So it's just, things like that will happen, and you just got to shrug your shoulders and talk with your shoulder pads.
All right, Brandon.
Well, I didn't play when we played Piedmont. I was actually in the stands in the cold watching them play. And
but you were there. That's the important thing.
I was there, and I know what happened. I'm gonna be there for my brothers no matter what, and I know what this game means to them. So I'm gonna put it all out on the floor with them.
Okay, well, we look forward to bringing you to that game on Friday. Tom Carpenter's back, so he and I will be announcing that game as well as all the other Midwest City games throughout the season. We can't wait because I know there's a lot to be excited about. So, Coach, thank you very much, and hopefully we can enjoy talking to you again a few times here at the Brick.
All right, appreciate it,
We
Jordan.
appreciate you.
We don't say we're dedicating the season to former coach of Midwest City High.
Oh, that's right.
Richard Evans. His name's on the press box, and you'll have a medallion on each kid's helmet. And we're looking forward to it. I mean, he did a lot to put Midwest City on the map. He was Grand Marshal of our homecoming parade about 5 years ago. It was great to meet him. I mean, you wouldn't have known he was as successful coach as he was by as humble as he was and as willing as he was to help anybody.
Great guy.
I enjoy calling the games from the Dick Evans press box, so we'll definitely talk about him at halftime. Tom Carpenter, of course, spoke at his funeral, so
yes, he did.
We'll have some thoughts about that. Okay, coming up next, we get to talk Del City football, and maybe bring in another sport here after that. You're watching the Mid-Del Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Whataburger now has new premium coffee. That means a brand new taste with new flavors. And it's coming in hot and iced cold. New, hot, and iced coffee from Whataburger, just like you like it. For the first time ever, Whataburger has iced coffee. So hey, get vanilla iced coffee with breakfast, caramel iced coffee with a snack. And for dinner, how about mocha iced coffee? Or just get plain. Nothing wrong with a classic. New iced coffee from Whataburger, just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Del Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And now, so happy to be joined once again, talking to him about his team this year, is Robert Jones, head football coach of Del City. Coach Jones, thanks so much for coming here.
You're welcome.
And so last year, such a great year, such a special year. You know, you guys had highlight after highlight, some amazing performances. You had some great players, and it just didn't end well for you in the championship game, but otherwise a lot to be proud of. How do you look back at that year, the journey it was, and how are you using that for your team this year, preparing for this upcoming season?
Yeah, you know, like you said, it was a great year, a historic year, and it's a lot you can take from it. But to be honest, it was hurtful losing in the state championships. You know, when you work so hard to get to that point, and you're 13-0, and your first loss is in the state championship, so you really don't have an opportunity to make the corrections and do the things that you feel like you need to do to kind of bounce back on that. So we'll always have that void there, you know, with those seniors, because that was a special group. Those seniors won a lot of football games, and they kind of put Del City on a different stratosphere than what we've been, what Del City's been in here recently in the past 20 years or so. But, you know, it was a learning lesson. And once all the hurt and you get through all the hurt and the pain from losing, you start to see the bright side of things. Like that team was special. Starting with the incident we had in Choctaw, to be able to overcome that, and be able to do what we did, that was special. So that was a special team. I owe it to those seniors. A bunch of gratitude just because they set the tone, they set the standard for years to come. We've really been using that in the offseason. You know, how do we finish? How do we get to that game again? And once we get there, how do we finish? And it's one game at a time. And you know, this would be my 4th year as a head coach, so things are being different. I'll be calling the offense this year, so that's a different thing for me as well. But I think we used all that pain and loss and motivation in the offseason. We've been really getting at it. I can honestly say this has probably been our best offseason and our best summer that we had since I've been there. We got a great team coming back, but there are a lot of young players mixed in with a bunch of seniors, so I'm excited to see what they could do. I'm excited to get out here this week versus Edmond Memorial. It's a great 6A1 opponent to kind of test us. You know, I like getting tested at the beginning with the games like Choctaw and Booker T. So we're really looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to showing what we've been working on all offseason in the summer.
And one last thing about some of the seniors you mentioned from last year's team. I've heard LaDainian Fields is lighting it up at OSU. Mm-hmm. So just mentioning that, and that will be maybe a name to watch out for as soon as they play their first game. So, but excited to see that. But now we're going to focus on your players. And, of course, when you have all those seniors, everyone from the outside is going to be like, well, they got some really good players to replace. That could go either way. They don't really know what you have. You know what you have more so than anyone else. And how do you feel about replacing these guys at all the key positions, quarterback, receiver, running back, defensive backs, and so on and so on?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know the depth that we have at Del City. This will be the first time since I've been there, even as an assistant coach, which will be 8 years, that we don't have to go both ways. Every year we went both ways. This will be the first time that we'll be able to run 11 guys out there on defense and 11 guys out there on offense, and they don't start both ways. Obviously, they'll play both ways, but they won't have to be a starter. So we just got great depth. I think the winning and I think the standard that we set, we got kids moving in, and then the development that we have within the program has really put us in a spot that I'm excited about it. You know, starting with replacing River Warren, you know, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in Del City history. We got to move in Cash Cartner. He's moving in from he moved in from Tuttle. He's a sophomore. He has great size. Smart kid, a lot of attributes that River had. He has. He doesn't have the experience and the maturity that comes to starting as a 3-year starter, but he's going to get there. He's 6'3", he's 190. He has a pretty good arm, so I'm excited to see him grow. I'm excited to see him take advantage of the athletic ability that we have, like River. Then at the running back position, you know, it's not many times that you could replace a Division I running back with another Division I running back. Rickland Holmes, I think a lot of people really didn't get to see who he could be and what he was at running back because we had Rodney, we had Braden Adama and Aaron Carter, Shaden Green. We had those guys, so Rickland's really going to put people on the map. He's going to put himself on the map and open a lot of people's eyes of what he can be at running back. I really think that he's going to have his pick to be a collegiate linebacker and or a collegiate running back. And then we have another guy that's moved over from El Reno, Caleb Blackwolf. He rushed for 900 yards as a freshman at El Reno on varsity. So anytime you're a freshman and you're rushing for 900 yards, regardless of what team you play for, that's pretty special. He's coming in. He's going to share some carries with Rickland, and then we got another senior, Jeremiah Miles, who's pretty special at running back. So those two positions are going to really be taken care of with the depth that we have, and they're young too. So Caleb's a sophomore, Rickland's a junior. So those guys will be running the ball for us for the next couple of years, and Cash as well at quarterback. Then our receiver, I think this is the deepest we ever been. We don't have that superstar per se like LaDainian or Nigel, but overall as a group, we got a lot of good skill players out there. Starting with Kadarius Palmer, he had 500 yards last year. He'll be a starter for us. And he's going to be a big-time player. We got Josiah Chester. I think he's the next big name. He'll be a big-time power forward. Division I player. He's going to start as well. And then you got Marshawn Graham, who moved over from Westmore. And you got Braylon Walker. We got a lot of Dylan Simmons. We got about 7 guys that can go out there and run the routes correctly, block, do all the things that a receiver needs to do. And my excitement really comes with what we have up front offensively. We got 3 returning starters, Quaylen Goodman, Shane Thornton, and Chauncey Jones. Those guys have played in a lot of football games, been against a lot of good defensive fronts. So I'm excited what they could bring to the table with that experience. We all know it starts up front. No matter how much talent you have in the skill position, if you don't have those guys up front, it won't work out good for you. So with those guys anchoring down and really setting the tone for us and setting the standard, it's going to be pretty good for us. And we got 2 move-ins. They're twins, Arnico and Orion Daniels. They came in from Western Heights. They really have set the tone for us. And well, they haven't set the tone, but the older guys set the tone, and they've done a good job following them. So I'm excited to see what they could do. They haven't played in a lot of big pressure games coming from Western Heights, but they've been nothing but gas to the pedal, pedal to the gas this offseason. They worked hard. They really got stronger. Our practices are real competitive, so they've been able to get that game-type experience. Then on the defensive side, on the back end, we got 2 players that have started for 3 years. Jashawn McAllister, everybody's pretty familiar with him. He has a knack around the ball. He's a big-time hitter. Preseason All-State DB, so he's going to start for us at safety. Then we have DeMar Turner. He's a 3-year starter as well. Anytime you got guys that have started for 3 years and played in those type of games and made the plays they have, their senior year they easily kind of explode out on the scene a little bit more just because they're a little bit more relaxed and comfortable. Then we got Caleb Blackwood, the young man I mentioned from El Reno. He'll be starting on the back end as well. Then in the linebacker, we got Charvis Kelly. He has a lot of experience. We have Rickland Holmes, obviously, he's rated as one of the best linebackers in the state. He has multiple Power 4 offers, Division I offers, like I said, and he's a freak at linebacker too. So, and then we got Christian Akadiri. He's fast, he's explosive. So we're moving Jashawn McAllister from that nickel position and putting him at safety. So we replace him with Christian, and we don't really have a drop off there. Then up front, this is what I'm excited about as well. We got 4 defensive linemen that are not going to have to play on the offensive line, and that has never happened for us. So with those guys being fresh, those guys getting after it, you got Taven Johnson. This will be his 3rd year starting at defensive end. He's really put on some weight, put on some muscle. We got Jashawn Chatham and Cam Freeman inside at the defensive tackles, and Ryan Mooks at the other defensive end. So our defense will be explosive and fast like they normally are. I just think they'll be able to come to the sideline and make some adjustments just because, like I said, they don't have to go over there and play on the offense. So I'm excited. I think this team is going to really show people that Del City's here to stay. It's not just a one-year pony as far as competing for state championships. I think that's going to be the standard for years to come.
Yeah, well, that's a lot there. So a couple things there. Caleb Blackwell, I think you mentioned. Mm-hmm. Is he kind of a lanky guy?
No, he's a little bit more on the thicker side.
Okay.
The lanky guy, I didn't mention his name, is Nicholas Holmes. He's coming from Western Heights. He's a 6'3" corner. His mold is kind of like Tristan Haynes, Trinae Washington. He's a real big kid, tall and long. He's going to be really special. I think he's another guy that'll be on the scene as far as getting recruited.
I just remember El Reno had a young player that caused Midwest City fits a couple last season. So
who did?
El Reno had a couple young guys besides their
it might be him because he was a little bit smaller. He put on some weight. And he did play a little running back, but he's a stud. He had a good game versus Midwest City last year.
Okay, so back to quarterback here. Cash is his first name.
Yeah.
And you've had to break in. Now, obviously, River Warren was not a new quarterback, but he was new to Del City last year. But you've had to break in a new quarterback, all 4 years you've been here. Mm-hmm. And so this is a guy that you may have a chance to really build some experience year after year by the time he's a senior. Is that appealing to maybe finally have some experience come back year after year there with him?
Oh, absolutely. It's been real challenging at quarterback for us, but we've been able to get it done, and all those guys have stepped up and been big players. You think about Virgil Yates, he was a district MVP. Yep. Then you got the Kalen Godwin, even though his size didn't show it, he was a big-time player. Then last year you have River. The thing that excites me this year is Cash is a sophomore. Like you said, we have time to develop him, but we got guys underneath him. We have Drayvon Simmons. He's a sophomore. He moved in from Newcastle. And we also have a freshman, Sincere Overton. He's about 6'1". He has some good size. So we have 3 good quarterbacks, and they're all young. So this should be a staple for us the next 2 to 3 years, that we're going to have a guy that can learn the offense and can learn the culture, really be that leader of the program like we need to be. River was a great leader, but it's only so much you could do in 1 year, like you said. So being able to have a guy that's going to be there for 3 years and have a running back that's going to be beside him for the next 2 years, that's Division I. I think that's going to help in his development. I'm excited about him, man. He's looked real great in camp. I think everybody's going to get to see his talent this Friday.
And then Rickland Holmes was, and you mentioned the D1 offers he's getting is only he hasn't started his junior season yet, which obviously that's pretty impressive.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned a stable of running backs there. How do you intend to balance him with what he can do at running back within the demand he has at linebacker?
Well, I think you rotate them. I've always been that way. I've always wanted to rotate. You look at even 2 years ago with Aaron Carter and Shaden Green and Braylon Adama, I'm never going to put the load on one running back like that because we go both ways. So we got 3 good backs, and, they're going to switch every series, because I think they all bring something different to the table. Rickland's that bruiser, downhill guy. Now a lot of DBs and linebackers are going to want to tackle him one-on-one. He's about 225 right now, just rock solid muscle. Then you got Caleb brings a little different slasher. He could be hard nosed and downhill at you, but he also going to be a little shifty. And then you got Jeremiah Miles. He's in the makeup of, he's a lot like Braylon Adama. He's a lot like Shaden Green. He's more of a little scat back, spread type back. But they all bring something different to the table. It's a long season, so you want to be able to spread those carries out so they don't get beat up. And like you said, they play both ways, so in special teams as well. So you want to just kind of keep their carries low, kind of how we did Rodney as we used him on defense in the latter part of the season. So I don't want to really get him over 15 carries, So and he's built for it. He's a wrestler. But, you just don't want to do that. It's just not the old days in the 90s when you had Benny Butler and Vernon Maxwell. You want to get somebody 30, 40 carries. You want to give them about 10 to 15 carries and, let them continue to grow throughout the season and save their bodies so they can have the physicality of it.
And then you mentioned, I think, 4 basketball players. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes the basketball team has basketball-only guys, and then there's teams like this with McAllister, Turner, Johnson, and then Michon Graham. I remember
Blackwolf as well. I think Blackwolf is a special talent. I think he's like the number 2 athlete in football in his class, and then he's like the number 2 basketball player in his class. So I was talking to Coach Hatchett about that. We do a great job of sharing athletes, and I was like, man, you're going to get a lot of great players coming to the court. So I love that, man. That's what it's about. You don't want anybody specializing in anything to me. I think it helps the culture of the school, and those guys play both sports, and they also do track as well. So it's going to be an exciting year in sports at Del City.
And that goes without saying that, too. At Del City, your receivers and your D-backs are your track stars.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always been that way. I think, everybody says we have a lot of speed. That doesn't happen by accident. We have a lot of speed because those guys commit to basketball, and then they go and commit to track. And I think those things go hand in hand, and it shows on the field with our athleticism and speed. It's a great makeup, and we also do powerlifting. So when you mix all 3 of those things in the spring and then you get a good summer, I think that's the explosive athletes as everybody's seeing every year in football.
Okay, so now that you're going to take over offense, does that mean you got to take even more of a bit of a step back on defense? I mean, what's this challenge going to be like for you?
Man, it's been tough, if I'm going to be honest, because, I'm a defensive guy. I've always had a heavy hand in the defensive side of things. But I trust Travis Kelly. This will be his 2nd year. He really knows the defense. It's his 2nd year, but it'll be his 7th year in being in a defensive system. So I'll still be coaching the DBs as well. Just because that's what I like to do. I'm one of those head coaches. I don't want to just be an overseer and kind of delegate things. I want to get my hands dirty. So I'll still have a little hand into it, but obviously when you're coordinating one side of the ball, you're not going to be able to help as much. But it's been exciting. At first I was nervous about it, but the more I'm getting into it, I think all those years of being a defensive coordinator have really played a great hand in where I'm at right now because, football is a copycat type sport, so all I'm doing is doing a lot of things that we struggle with. So it's kind of I told everybody it's a little easier to me being on the other side of it because you get to dictate where you want to go, you get to attack defenses, and we got a lot of great athletes, so that makes it easier too. But it's going to be a challenging year for me to be able to delegate everything as an athletic director, head coach, and coordinator. But it's nothing more exciting to do it with these kids just because of the talent that we have.
Special teams, you had great returners, obviously. I don't know how many punt returns you had between Adama and LaDainian Fields that went to the house, but quite a few. But I know you'll have no problem putting in whether it's Turner or someone like that who can return it or Holmes, I don't know. But you have plenty of options there. So if you have some good names you want to mention, by all means. But I want to ask you about kicking because you had someone, a soccer player, I think, join the team late last year. Last year. So how's the kicking looking, punting and place kicking and all that?
Well, starting with the returners, like you said, we got a slew of players that we can get back there and that can catch punts and that could do things like that. We got, Blackwolf can do it, Jeremiah Miles, you got Marshawn Graham. It's a list of names you can do. As far as kicking, we're still, you got Rickland as a punter. You always have him as a place kicker, but I don't want to use him on kickoff as much just because I want to save his legs. We got another soccer kid that came out. He's a senior named Tony Rios. He's been pretty special. And, I think he'll be in the mold of Stanley Johnson. He won't have that stature and the size that he has, but he has a pretty good leg, and he's been pretty consistent in camp. So I'm excited to see him. He's been consistent, hitting 35 to 40 yarders. Last year we didn't even attempt a field goal, so I told them this year it could be different. It's a different team. It's a younger team. You got a younger quarterback, so I'm excited what he could do as a kicker. He's not as big in stature, but he's been pretty consistent putting the ball where it needs to be on kickoff, and he's been pretty consistent where he needs to put it in as far as field goal attempts. And then as a punter, I think we got one of the most athletic punters in the state with Rick LaHolmes. I really didn't want to use him as punter, but the more I think about it, why not have a guy that's one of the best linebackers in the state kick it? So if they do break loose, we hadn't had a return punt on us in 4 years. So to have a guy back there that if somebody does break loose, you got a guy like Rick LaHolmes can go tackle him. That's pretty special. And he also has a good leg as well. Anytime he kicked it last year, he was leading the district in touchbacks, and so I'm excited to have a kicker that can come out there and take the responsibility and do the duties that he needs to do. But I'm also excited to be able to have Rickland to step in if you need him to take care of those duties as far as kickoff and things like that.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time before Rickland will maybe execute a fake punt.
Oh, you bet your money is coming. You bet your money is coming.
We'll just a matter of time. We're to see.
We never needed it last year, but I always wanted to because
because if you got Rickland they're fielding it, he can.
If he's catching that punt, people always need to be aware. And now that I'm back, now that I'm on the offensive side of the ball, it does make me a little bit more. Gives me a little bit more freedom, and it relaxes me a little bit more. When you're a defensive coach, you tend to play on a little bit on the safer side. But now that I'm back on the offense, I think I'm going to take a lot more risks this year.
Okay, look forward to seeing that.
Absolutely.
Let's pull up Del City's schedule here.
Yes, sir.
And what's interesting is you guys had quite the switch, from what was going to happen. So first you're going to come back from the east side, District 3, to District 1 with Midwest City. So it was going to be a district, and I mean football district rival again, with Lawton MacArthur and some schools like that, Elgin. Yeah. And then everything got blown up in the spring.
Yeah.
And you had a chance to go back east, but now it's District 4.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, how all that played out?
Man, it was wild. I feel like they're playing musical chairs with Del City, and I don't understand that. Obviously, I know everybody's – I'm just going to speak on the elephant in the room. It seems like people don't want to play us or something. I'm like – leave us in a district. Let us get comfortable with the traveling. Let us get comfortable with the opponents and things that come. Let us build rivalries. I feel like we built a great rivalry with McAllister and Coweta, and now we're starting all over again. So I get it. I know it was out of people's hands, but I really was looking forward to continuing that rivalry with Coweta and McAllister. But now we're in a great district. We got some great opponents. We got our playoff semifinal opponent in there. You got Claremore. We got our first-round opponent with Pryor. Those are great football teams. You got Collinsville. They just won a state championship.
That'll be a game to circle.
Yeah, so those are great programs that are going to test us. We all know that, our goal is to go get a district championship because that's how you start the process of making it to a state championship. So there's going to be some great teams to test us in that district, and we're excited about it. To me, I like it because you're playing new teams. You're going to new stadiums. You're going against different crowds. So the excitement comes with just expecting to be with teams getting the team's best effort. I know those teams are excited to have us in district, and we're excited to play against them. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing those new teams.
Yeah, Collinsville has been the consistent team from that district. They're the last team to win state.
Absolutely.
Not named Carl Albert. So
yes, sir.
That'll be an interesting game to watch. And so looking at the non-district part, I believe it's week 3. Got a bye week.
Yeah.
I'm going in reverse here.
Well, we got week 2. We'll play Memorial, and then we got Booker T, and then we'll be off, and then we have Midwest City.
Okay, so you got 2 Memorials on your schedule.
Yes, sir.
And so Booker T, Midwest City. That's you've had them on your non-district for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk Edmond Memorial. It's a game coming up this Friday. I don't know when the last time a Middale school played a 6A1 team in non-district, but it has been a few years if it's happened recently. How did that game get on the schedule for you guys, and what do you think about the Bulldogs?
I'll be honest, man, it was tough finding games. It was a little bit mixture of both. I think the shooting kind of scared people. I think Del City gets a certain kind of stigma to it, but everybody in Middale knows it's not true. But people on the outside kind of have that stereotype about Dale City. It's one of the safest places to play. If you've been at that stadium, you know it's not a lot of things that go on.
Yep.
And then people are kind of afraid to play us just because of our speed and athleticism. Me and Coach Dunn talk about this all the time. He has a lot of, and Coach Hall as well. We all have hard times finding non-district games because a lot of 6A teams don't want to play you because if they win, they're supposed to beat you. Then if they beat you, like, hey, how are you losing to a 5A team? Then obviously a lot of 5A teams don't want to play us. And I say that humbly because people need to realize, yeah, we got talent, but every year we could be beat. So I like playing great teams, but that it's going to be a great challenge for us. Obviously, when you play against 6A1 teams, they're going to have size. They're going to have numbers. And they're going to be well coached because they have more coaches. So I'm looking forward to the scheme part of it. I'm looking forward to the physicality. And then they got the #1 quarterback in the state. So I'm looking forward to that challenge as well, to see where we are on defense in the secondary and see where we are from getting pressure on him. I remember the last game we played, when we played the #1 quarterback, Still Wasser. It was a great game. So
yeah.
I think this game is going to give us some challenges. I think it's going to help us. It's going to expose some things that we have to work on. And it's also going to see where we're at talent-wise and how we're meshing together. So we're really looking forward to it. I think it's a great challenge for Dale City. I think it's a great challenge for our community to come out and support us as well. We need a packed house. You know, it's one of the better games in the state. And I think we're built for it just because now we're going one way. Obviously, we'll play people on both sides, but to be able to go out there and be able to go one way, I think our speed and athleticism is going to be able to be on full exposure, because I think people are going to see that we have built a program that can go play against these type of programs, and that's what I want to do. You know, I came to Dale City. I want to be in these type of games. I want to continue to play top-tier teams. I want to play against top-tier players. I think it's no other way that you can get to the top or get to that position where Carl Albert is at without playing those type of teams. You know, Coach Rose is my mentor, and he always spoke about playing a non-district game because, you know, my junior and senior year at Carl Albert, when I was in high school, we went 1-3 and we still won a state championship. So the more I get mature as a head coach, I realize that, hey, this non-district is really to build a culture and get you a sustainable team that can go into tough atmospheres and tough places and play in tough weather and win. You got to play tough games at the beginning. So we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to really challenge us in a lot of different ways, not only with the players but with the coaching staff as well.
All right, so Edmond Memorial, excuse me, the Bulldogs going to Dale City.
Yes, sir.
Bob Kalsu Stadium this Friday. And once again, it'll be John Kilty doing play-by-play. Yes, Colton Fleetwood, who won Color Commentator of the Year last year, will be back with him. Tessa will be there. Yes, so a lot to look forward to with the broadcast as you get to watch Dale City and Edmond Memorial this Friday. The broadcast should begin at 6:30, kickoff around 7. And, of course, you mentioned Coach Rose. We want to really wish him and his family well now.
Praise go with him.
And that's part of why, and also because they're not playing next week. We're not going to see Carl Albert on this show because they don't have a game on week 0. Their first game will be week 1. And so, but we look forward to having them on next week. And coming up then, we will have Midwest City Volleyball. We're looking forward to that. You're watching the Mid-Dale Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back.
Chicken strips. Chicken strips. Chicken strips.
Ranch, ranch, ranch. Ranch. Buffalo. Buffalo. Ranch. Monterey Jack cheese.
The Whataburger Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich. a beautiful masterpiece.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558. Okay, welcome back to the Mid-Dell Welcome back to the Mid-Dell Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we're going to switch gears to volleyball here as I get to talk Midwest City Volleyball with their coach, Maddie Dixon, a few of their players. Coach, thanks so much for being here, kind of on short notice. And one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on here is you guys normally play on Tuesdays. Tuesdays when we had to do it here this year. So, but you guys normally play on Tuesdays, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So this was an exception, so we're glad to have you on. Let's talk about this. This is your second year as the head coach?
It is.
And this year, you're taking on the challenge of now teaching at Midwest City High School.
Yes.
Teaching Algebra 1, which I know that can be really challenging here.
It is, for sure.
Let's talk about the coaching aspect of it. Now that you've had a year under your belt as the head coach, what's a couple things you might, you're going into the season, you're like, hey, I want to do a little differently?
Definitely this year, we worked through the summers for conditioning, weights, and, they work really hard through the summers. But whenever we hit season, we're so busy to where, that's kind of like on the back burner. But definitely this year, we're still going to be doing conditioning, weights throughout the season. So I definitely think that will amp up our game a little bit.
Okay, and talk about the importance of conditioning in volleyball because they don't really run very much, at least not during live play. It depends. Certain situations. So if you had to specify what type of conditioning is important, what would you say?
Definitely endurance. A lot of people think that, volleyball is a short game, but it's really not. You're playing the best 3 out of 5, so you're guaranteed 3 games to 25. And then, if you're splitting, you can go all the way up to 5 sets. So definitely having endurance is huge, and also sprints is a huge part of it too. Making quick, fast movements, balls off the block, just fast-paced play. So
sure, and you guys are, I believe, 5 and 6 and ranked 15?
16.
And the 16 in district play, or not district play, but in rankings. What's been different about this year's team? Like what's because obviously you always have some seniors to replace, but what's it been like with this year's team that's been a little different?
So this year's team, I was able to do our schedule for this year. Last year it was kind of already made up before I got here, so I really didn't have any control over who we played on last year's schedule. So definitely this year I made it a point to make sure that we had, tougher competition than we did last year. And, these girls are playing up to their potential and a lot of times even higher. So, we do have a couple 4A schools on our schedule, but, they're in the top 5, top 10 in 4A. So, other than that, our whole conference is 6A. We're the only 5A team in our conference, and so the other teams on our schedule are 5 and 6A. So
very good. And who do we got with us here?
So we have senior Trinity Allen. She's middle hitter, middle blocker, and our libero Layla Stewart. She's also a senior.
Okay, Trinity and
Layla.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for being here again. And Trinity, I know that besides your volleyball skills, you're probably you were like one of the vocal leaders on the team last year. correct. And let me go, turn you guys up here. Sorry about that. Okay. And what's it been like now being a senior on this team and just being so comfortable with volleyball?
I'm still I still have a very big impact with my voice regarding the team. We don't have a captain, but I feel like we all play the captain role, we all play the captain part, so it's no need for the title of a captain because we all speak our minds, speak our voice, and we always make sure that something is always being said and we always have an opinion. But yeah, I just think us as a team, we don't need a captain, and yeah, we just all make that very big choice of taking that role as the senior because we have such a big graduating class for volleyball. It's 7 of us, am I correct? Mm-hmm. So we all take part in the team because we are majority of the team.
All right, Coach, no captains. That's kind of unusual.
Yep. In my past years, even coaching club, I was a firm believer in, the biggest vocal leader, the biggest impact on the floor, how are you as a leader on and off the court. And I think that, we have so many this year that, as of right now, I don't have a captain. Mm-hmm. I send a player up for coin toss, but that doesn't, indicate,
right.
As far as the season captain, but, like Trinity said, we have a lot of vocal leaders out there, even on and off the court, so they all fight for a spot every single practice. So.
Well, Trinity, I'm sure you're still doing your part to make sure that the team's having a lot of fun and laughing. Mm-hmm. Okay. I knew that would be the case. Layla is laughing a bit right now. All right. Layla, I'm sure you had a memory coming up when I said that about something that Trinity was doing, right?
Oh, Lord. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay, so Layla, talk about the strides you made now that you're a senior. Are you a different player now than you were last year, do you think?
Definitely. As far as a team, I would say we've come a long way, yeah, because last year I would say the chemistry was there, but it was more of we're together on the court, but when we're off the court, it was we didn't talk to each other. But this year, I would definitely say that since it is more seniors and we all are in the same class, graduating class, we do talk to each other a lot more. Hey, what can I do to make things better? Things like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. So, and your position is what again?
Libero.
And that's the one who wears the different colored shirt.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you say your strengths are then, that lead you to get that title and position?
Honestly, just talking a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes. If I don't, I get yelled at, so, got to make that an everyday thing.
Well, it's more than that.
Sure.
Yeah, but
her hustle on defense.
Yeah,
her hustle on defense. I mean, this past weekend, we had a tournament at CCS. We got into the gold bracket. We lost in the semis right before the championship game to a really good CCS team. I think they're ranked second in 4A. Ranked second in 4A. I think they won state last year. They won state. It's a team that very rarely they don't get to state. So that was a huge test for us as a team. But Layla this past weekend, she did boo-boo her knee a little bit. Just hustling after the ball and, just that relentless effort is also part of being a libero.
So you got some good digs.
Yeah, a lot.
Now, would you say, Trinity, you're the number one spiker? That's kind of what they want, is to set you up?
Yeah.
Being kind of tall?
Yeah, once I'm hot, just keep feeding me. I think this past Blanchard, when we played Blanchard, I ended the game with 17 kills. So that just showed me I could do it. And we went to 5 sets and we won in 5 sets. So that just showed me me and my team, we can all do this. If we're all clued in, we can all play the part and we can all do get the outcome that we want to. So
yeah. What's been a really positive favorite memory you've had so far as we're, kind of in the middle of your season?
Well, mine is not in the middle of the season. It's kind of towards our summer. So we did go to a team camp at the University of North Texas, and It was just kind of it was us playing through adversity. Like, so when we got there, it just wasn't what you expected, and you know the treatment just wasn't what you expected. But how we came from it, how we played from it, and you know the confidence that we all have in each other, and we all trust each other, and it just built our connection to make us an even stronger team to do what we need to do.
So that's a 3-hour trip. Were you guys like staying overnight, or?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, okay, that could definitely bring a team together.
We're there for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days,
3
2
days.
nights. Yeah.
In Denton, Texas. I've been there plenty of times. Layla, what about you? Do you have a positive memory?
Yeah, I'll probably
so
go
far?
off the same thing Trent said. The college camp, it was good. I mean, like Trent said, we didn't get the, you know, like how we wanted it to be. It didn't reach that. Yeah, it didn't reach that potential. But I mean, like we didn't have nobody else, so we had each other. So like I feel like that made us come together more as a team, rather just me. It was more of like we in that situation.
Right, we is
so
greater than me.
yeah.
So.
All right. Well, any games coming up? I know you guys are still going to play Del City, but any games you have on your schedule that you kind of circled as, hey, I'm really looking forward to this matchup?
I'm really looking forward to playing Choctaw. So.
Okay. When's that game?
I can't even.
Oh, we don't have the schedule on us here.
September 10th.
September 10th, yes.
Oh, she got that schedule engraved.
That
on
is
her
a
brain.
Tuesday, so that's one of the reasons one of the reasons we had to have him on today, because that's in 2 weeks, and so we'll have a coaches show then. But all right, Choctaw, is that home or away?
It's away. It's at Choctaw.
All right, Layla, do you concur with that?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like everybody on our schedule is beatable, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to everybody.
Yeah, every team is beatable, but we just have to do what we have to go in the game knowing what we can do and, you know, come out with the outcome that we want.
Absolutely. We're going to switch out right here, so we're going to bring in 2 new players. I want to thank Trinity and Layla so much. And while we're switching out here, we got 2 players coming in. Coach, they mentioned Choctaw, but any other key dates like senior night or the pink out or some type of big date like that?
Yeah. So our pink out game is against Altus. So we scheduled a game with Altus this year. We played them in the regional semis last year at Booker T. So we ended up beating them to get to the regional finals. And so kind of after that year, the coach wanted to schedule a game. So we ended up scheduling a game there. That ended up getting canceled due to a water line break in Altus. So Altus is our pink out game. And me personally, I'm looking forward to our game against Choctaw and also Cash. So we had a chance to see Cash this weekend at the CCS tournament. We weren't able to play them just because of how the brackets were set up. But I'm definitely looking forward to playing Cash and also Choctaw as well.
All right. Familiar with Cash as well, growing up in West Lawton.
Okay.
So hope you guys do well against them. We got 2 new players. Coach, if you could introduce us to them, or them to us.
This is Kaya Jackson. She's also a senior. She's our setter.
Kaya, okay.
And Mari Morris. She's also a senior. She's an outside hitter.
Okay, so Kaya?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where are you positioned then as a setter?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, we're on your side. Are you you start out in the middle, or I'm not?
I start like on right back.
Okay. And was this your role last year, or have you expanded your role some?
It's been my role since last year.
Okay, and what would you say your strengths are that lead you to that?
My strengths is like I have a clear head, and then I know who's like on fire when to set them, keep setting them, or even like when someone's having an off day to encourage them and stuff like that.
All right, and then one more time.
Mari.
Okay. And Mari, your position was again?
Outside.
Outside. And what's important about playing on the outside?
Outsides get set the most, so you gotta be ready for it.
Okay, and was this your role with the team last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you feel like you're a better player now than you were a year ago?
Yeah.
Okay, Myas, do you agree about you?
Yes.
Okay, and what's now you got your seniors here? What's it been like now as seniors? Do you feel like you have more responsibility
Yeah, I say have more responsibility. Like, you just think about everything. You have everybody watching you, people looking up to you. So it's just, yeah.
Mara, you agree? Okay. Do you have a favorite memory so far of any win this season, or maybe it could be like what they talked about, your Denton trip, but what would you say has been enjoyable so far for your senior season?
I'd probably say it would be the camp, too. I feel like we really clicked more during the camp and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we all came together. I would say, me personally, I learned a lot while I was there. So, yeah.
Mara, you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, the camp was cool, too. I agree with all of them. But I say the win against Blanchard. Like, Blanchard, we worked hard for it, and, you know, it was just a good feeling at the end of the day.
It was a good win.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, and what's the kind of the goal then for where you're at right now? Do the rankings determine seeding and all that, or what are you kind of hoping for when it comes to where you're positioned postseason?
Well, I mean, as of right now, we are ranked 16. Obviously not where we want to be, but it's better than we were in the past. So, again, I mean, we have a really hard schedule this year, so I feel like a lot of times ranking or your record doesn't really indicate how good you are as a team. You kind of have to look at everything across the board. You know, but as far as rankings go, the top 8, at the end of this season, when you're in the top 8, you get to host a regional tournament. So that's definitely a goal for us this year. And then I think the biggest goal that we have is just making it to the state tournament. I think that would be really huge for us as a program, as a school. You know, and just for these amazing girls that they've worked so hard, you know, even from my last year to this year. Just seeing all of their growth. Each one of them has grown. You know, we have a few new additions this year. Anaya Curran, she is a junior. She didn't play last year, but she was able to try out this year. And also we have freshman Jade Hicks. You know, I did put her on the varsity team. She also plays on JV as well, just to get her that exposure because we do have so many seniors this year. You know, that next year is going to be kind of a rebuilding year. So.
Okay, well, and so with all these seniors, when is senior night?
Senior night is October 3rd.
Yes, 3rd.
Yep, October 3rd against Douglas.
Okay, so that's still a bit of a ways away, but have you ladies thought about, hey, this is your last year? Has it kind of hit you yet, or?
I would say it's pretty much hit me now. Like, I would say after our first home game, I'm just like, wow, it's my first home game. It's like stuff's starting to get real now. So it's just like I'm ready, but I'm not really prepared for it. It's just like I feel like everything's just going by too quick right now.
Same. Actually, the first 2 games, I was pretty nervous. So, yeah. Yeah.
And do you have a particular game you're looking forward to? They mentioned Choctaw already. I know that's got to be one because they're close by. I know they're big 6A school. Do you have any other games you're looking forward to?
I would say another game I'm looking forward to is a rematch against Putnam City North. That's another game I really want to look forward to.
And they beat you earlier, right?
Yeah, it was our first game.
Okay.
Second? Yeah, second game.
Yeah, I think you beat PC West first.
PC West was first.
Yeah. Okay.
I say Enid and Ponca City.
Okay, you're thinking of those up north schools there.
Yeah, it was a good game against Eden last year. We went to, 5?
4. And then the fire alarm went off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I hate it when that happens.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's really good stuff, and we look forward to, following you. And then hopefully we can talk to you more if you guys can make a run into state for sure. So
yeah, that would definitely – I mean, that's our goal at the end of the day. They have the potential. They have the skill level. We're working on the mental aspect of it, but that just takes time, and building that confidence. So.
And one last thing, Coach. I did already mention this, but is it now that you're actually a teacher at the school, there's pros and cons to that, I'm sure.
There are for sure.
You're there. You can see your players throughout the day. I don't know if they like that, but that's still a good thing for you. But now you got to also take care of Algebra 1, and there's a lot of commitments with that.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a huge adjustment for me. At the beginning I was like, teaching and coaching. But, I kind of take my coaching mentality in with my teaching, just taking care of the kids, making sure that they're getting what they need to get to be successful, and same with my volleyball players as well. But as far as the mental aspect of it, it's definitely been more mentally challenging for sure. You know, just getting the lesson plans together, practice plans together. You know, it's definitely been challenging, but, you know, so far I love it.
Oh, great. I'm glad you're fully there now at Midwest City. All right. Well, ladies, thank you very much for coming on. Hope you had fun tonight. And that's going to do it here for the Coaches Show. So reminder again, on the Oklahoma Sports Network, this coming Friday, Midwest City hosting Piedmont, Del City hosting Edmond Memorial. These are some very good non-district games as both schools get ready for the district play in a few weeks. And then Carl Albert will not be in action. We hope to talk to Coach Dunn about his team next week, and then that's when they'll play their first game. So look forward to it. I want to thank Alicia for the job she's done producing. I want to thank Bricktown Brewery for hosting the Coaches Show this year. We look forward to many more good shows here. And you've been watching the Coaches Show, the Mid-Del Coaches Show, on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.